Welcome back, you bitter, bitter, bitter people, to That's Amaro. Today, we're going to be making tinctures. You guessed it, tinctures. One more time, tinctures.
It's time to make Amaro, yesterday and not tomorrow. If you like a bit of taste, that is the time you will not waste. Hey.
It's a pretty simple process. A tincture is just an infusion of a single ingredient with a neutral grain spirit for a designated amount of time. I've chosen to do 2 weeks for all the ingredients because that's how long I've been steeping my Amaro as well. So I wanted to keep that consistent. Every time I make a batch of Amaro, that first time I try it, usually on dilution day, there's a little bit of heat to it. I don't know where it comes from. I presume it's from a single ingredient, a single ornery ingredient that just wants to act up and prevent me from soaring to the highest heights in the Amaro industry. And by making tinctures, I'm going to isolate each and every ingredient that I incorporate into my Amaro and determine which one of these ingredients is that ornery bastard. And then I can take that ornery bastard and send it to the corner of shame to think about what it's done.
Corner of shame.
Shame, 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 shame.
If it weren't for this ornery ingredient, you wouldn't be able to look me in the eyes on the street because I'd be so famous in the Amaro industry. I'd be a centerfold. I'd be on the cover of all of the hottest Amaro publications, from Amaro Monthly to Bitters Weekly to Gentian Annual Publication, which is a hot publication. I remember when I was a kid of about 9 or 11, and I kept a secret copy of Amaro Monthly underneath my mattress. Nobody knew about it. And late at night, when all the family was sleeping, all 25 of us, I would reach underneath my mattress, pull out that Amaro Monthly, ever so quiet obviously, and I would leaf through it, and I would pull open that centerfold, and it would have the most bitter bottle of Amaro. Ooh. Ooh, you're so fine. And that could be me. I could be that centerfold. Couldn't you just picture it? Tall drink of water, you know what I mean? That's a long centerfold. Anyways, I digress. Back to that ornery ingredient. I'm going to make tinctures of every single one of the ingredients that I use to isolate what is that hot flavor. Where is the heat coming from, right? So let me show you some of the tinctures that I've been working on. We've got a bevy of fun stuff. What do we have here? We have myrrh, we have dandelion, we have lemon verbena, angelica root, chamomile, calendula petals. You're here too? My word, who let you in, you salty dog? Some green cardamom. Wow. Oh my goodness. I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, I was pretty good at the game Clue. I had a pretty good knack for guessing who the murderer was from the get-go, as soon as we were unpacking the game. Just something in the air. And I have a feeling about this green cardamom. I think it may be the culprit. So last week I strained off just a little bit from the tincture to isolate it at a 1 week level, and then today I'm going to strain it off at a 2 week level. I want to find out everything I can about cardamom. It's sort of like stalking before a first date. But we've been on many dates, and I didn't do my due diligence beforehand, and now my credit score's shot. It's important to note that I used about the same amount of spirit in each one of the tinctures. 360 milliliters, 12 ounces. In some of the tinctures, there's a lot of liquid still living in the jar. For example, myrrh. It's basically all liquid. The myrrh stuck to the jar. But for others, chamomile, it's like the liquid is gone. Where'd it go? Same amount of liquid, but it's such a dense herb that it feels like there's no spirit inside here. Wake up! Rah rah! Team's never gonna win the volleyball meet with that attitude. I want to start with this one off the bat, gentian root. This is the main bittering agent in so many different Amaro. And isolating it just on its own into its own little tincture batch, it's pretty crazy what's happening to the gentian root. A reaction I did not anticipate. It was so interesting to see how thick and juicy each piece became. So when they start out, they're pretty tiny and pretty hard rock cafe style things. And now they're triple, quadruple the size and super soft. It's like turning it into a very soft carrot or a turnip. Who knew? A lot of people. Not I. Maybe not some of you. But that's why we're doing this. To figure out what this process is all about and to see if it can help me and potentially a host of other people in making their own Amaro to isolate that ornery bugger. Okay, let's get this draining. Tinctures are a good metaphor for life, in that we're all made up of so many different ingredients, a lot of water, but it's important to take stock of yourself and really figure out which parts of yourself you really like and which parts need a little work. We all need a little work. Ain't that right?
Vom finitio data împreună, dacă nu va concentrați, sweet cheeks.
Well, thank you. Maybe coming home late tonight. Take a look at that color. That's the puce-ish color that the Brussels sprouts batch has gained, and I love this color. So I definitely don't want to lose this color. I'm just curious whether or not the cardamom is bringing the heat. I just like popped open a pod. Let me try to show it to you. Take a look at this. Super gummy. It ends up looking like that. These cardamom seeds inside. I'm gonna keep going with my theory, my clue theory about cardamom. We'll strain it up, we'll give it a little nip, see if we need to alter the amount of cardamom that we're using in the Brussels sprouts Amaro batch. And as promised, that ornery bugger will go to the corner of shame to think about what it's done.
It's time to make Amaro, yesterday and not tomorrow. If you like a bit of taste, and it's a time you will not waste. Hey!